Yes, I can finally talk about my Twin Peaks review. I recently finished watching it. Obviously, I watched season 1 and I bought season 1 for like $10 on a second-hand store a while ago. So now I am going to do this review because Twin Peaks is something so fascinating. Holy shit. Like, if you haven't seen Twin Peaks yet, I highly recommend you stop this video and go watch Twin Peaks because this show is pretty amazing. Like, holy shit. This is my first time watching it, and by the time I finished it, the first series or the first season, I was like, damn, I should rewatch it. But I didn't because, yeah, obviously, I'm a big TV show guy and a big film guy, and I can't have the time to rewatch an entire show that I just watched, you know what I mean? But anyway, Twin Peaks is an American serialist mystery horror drama television series created by Mark Frost and David Lynch. It premiered on ABC on the 8th of April 1990 and ran for 2 seasons until its cancellation in 1991. The show returned in 2017 for a third season on Showtime. Set in the fictional Pacific Northwest town, the show's narrative draws on the characteristics of detective fiction, but its uncanny tone, supernatural elements, and campy, melodramatic portrayal of eccentric characters also draw from American horror and soap opera tropes. Like much of Lynch's work, it is distinguished by surrealism, distinctive cinematography, and offbeat humor. The musical score was composed by Angelo Badalamenti with Lynch. The original run was followed by the 1992 feature film Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, which serves as a prequel to the series. The success of the series sparked as a media franchise, leading to the release of several tie-in books, including The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer. Under Lynch's direction, the show's 2017 revival included much of the original cast.
Here in LA, beautiful blue skies, golden sunshine.
In the years following the first 2 seasons, the show has gained a devoted cult following and had been referenced in a wide variety of media, earning widespread critical acclaim and various accolades. Twin Peaks is considered a landmark turning point in television drama and often listed among the greatest television series of all time. The 2017 revival also received widespread critical acclaim. Film journal yes, it's a French name. Cahiers du Cinéma named it the best film of the 2010s. So, yes, I think that's so interesting because Twin Peaks is a show that's pretty much, if you were to count it, I think ran for 30 years, right? Yeah, season 1 first released in 1990, season 2 with season 1 had 8 episodes, season 2 had 22 episodes, so that's literally like almost multiplied. So that's really interesting. But season 2 premiered or released on the same year. So the first season released on the 8th of April 1990, and the second season was commissioned and released on the 30th of September 1990. So that's pretty interesting, right? So there we go. Fire Walk With Me was a film made in 1992, and obviously the third season was, released in 2017. So there we go. There's tons of, I guess, speculation and conspiracies and superstition about this show, but the thing is, it's very interesting. Obviously, like there are so many interpretations, just like any other work of David Lynch, and I think Twin Peaks, yes, it is literally one of the most crucial television shows ever made, because it's not only, I guess, a satire on the American life and on the American standards, or I would say the American dream, right? David Lynch is a kind of guy that wasn't really, I would say, respected by the American audiences. Like his films are more leaning into the European vibe, if you know what I mean. Obviously, we had The Elephant Man, which obviously was set in Great Britain, in England, especially like London or something. Obviously, that's a very interesting film, but like the film The Eraserhead from David Lynch was a very experimental film, something that you might see in Europe more often than in America. But I think thanks to David Lynch, he is a groundbreaking director. He's one of my favorite directors. I have tons of his films now here at home, and it's something that you just need to get over it. You have to watch them, experience them, and just yeah, I guess experience them, just like season one of Twin Peaks, which I thought I heard about the show, but I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. And I watched it, and holy shit, I was mesmerized. Like, I was changed after watching the show. Like, there is this sort of melodramatic style to it. Like, all the actors, all the characters are so, I would say, not really friendly, but they're also so soft. And I think that's beautiful. Like, holy shit, like Twin Peaks is a very calm city, calm little town. And yeah, really reminds me of like the Lodge, 1989. Local logger Pete Martel discovers, I think, yeah, Martel, anyway, discovers a naked corpse wrapped in plastic on the bank of a river outside of the town of Twin Peaks, Washington. When Sheriff Harry S. Truman, his deputies, and Dr. Will Hayward arrive, the body is identified as high school senior and homecoming queen Laura Palmer. A second girl, Renata Pulaski, is discovered as well, who is badly injured and this is difficult English word. Dissociative, yes, just across the state border. FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper is called to investigate. Cooper's initial examination of Laura's body reveals a tiny typed letter R inserted under her fingernail. At a town conference, Cooper informs the community that Laura's death matches the signature of a killer who murdered another girl in southwestern Washington the previous year, and that the evidence potentially indicates the killer being from Twin Peaks, which is really interesting. Through Laura's diaries, local law enforcement alongside Agent Cooper discovered that she had been living a double life. She was cheating on her boyfriend, football captain Bobby Briggs, with biker James Hurley, prostituting herself with the help of truck driver Leo Johnson and drug dealer Jacques Renault. Laura was also addicted to cocaine, which she obtained through coursing Bobby into doing business with Jacques. So the thing is, Laura Palmer is it's a fascinating little MacGuffin, I guess. Like the entire season, in season one, you want to learn who killed Laura Palmer. But I'm not going to spoil it. But I think the chase after the killer is way more interesting because, like I said, everyone knows everyone in Twin Peaks, right? Like I already talked about, through Laura's diaries, she also mentioned that her boyfriend, the football captain Bobby, and the biker James, and the driver Leo Johnson, and the drug dealer Jacques Renault are all connected in a way, and that's so interesting. Like, holy shit, that is so fascinating. So, Laura's father, attorney Leland Palmer, suffers a nervous breakdown after her death. Her best friend, Donna Hayward, begins a relationship with James. With the help of Laura's cousin, Maddie Ferguson, Donna and James discover that Laura's psychiatrist, Dr. Lawrence Jacoby, was obsessed with her, but he is even proven innocent of the murder. Hotelier, yeah, I think hotellerie, yeah, somebody who works in a hotel. Ben Horn, the wealthiest man in Twin Peaks, plans to destroy the town's lumber mill along with its owner, Josie Packard, and murder his lover, Josie's sister-in-law, and Pete's wife, Catherine Martel, so he can purchase the land at a reduced price and complete a development project called Ghostwood. Horn's sultry, troubled daughter, Audrey, becomes infatuated, with Agent Cooper and spies on her father for clues in an effort to win Agent Cooper's affection. Oh boy, it's so cute. Anyway.
Don't you like me?
I like you very much. You're beautiful, intelligent, desirable. You're everything that a man wants in his life.
Cooper has a dream in which he is approached by a one-armed, otherworldly being who calls himself Mike. Mike says that Laura's murder is a similar identity killer, Bob, a feral denim-clad man with long grey hair. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Anyway, Cooper finds himself decades older with Laura and the dwarf in a red business suit who engages in coded dialogue, which is obviously like reversed and sped up and slowed down. Anyway, they have this conversation with Cooper. The next morning, Cooper tells Truman that if they can decipher the dream, they can find out who murdered Laura.
I've got good news. That the mule is going to.
Anyway, Cooper and the sheriff's department find the one-armed man from Cooper's dream, a traveling shoe salesman named Philip Garrar. Garrar knows a Bob, the veterinarian who treats Renault's pet bird. Cooper interprets these events to mean that Renault is the murderer, and with Truman's help tracks Renault to One-Eyed Jack's, a brothel owned by Horn across the border in Canada. He lures Renault back into the back into US soil to arrest him, but Renault is shot while trying to escape and is hospitalized. Leland, learning that Renault has been arrested, sneaks into the hospital and smothers him to death. The same night, Horn orders Leo to burn down the lumber mill with Catherine trapped inside and has Leo gunned down by Hank Jennings. To ensure Leo's silence, Cooper returns to his room following Renault's arrest and is shot by a masked gunman. Ooh, exciting! Holy shit. Dude, I really want to see season 2 now. I know the season has 22 episodes, but I should find it somewhere. Like I prefer my things to be on physical media. So Twin Peaks I have now on physical media and I can watch it anytime I want. But holy damn, that's quite insane. I'm so hyped and thrilled to watch season 2. Obviously it's been out since like 1990s, but I wasn't born back then, obviously. But I think watching season 2, you know, having my own experience, I think that's gonna be so wonderful. But anyway, let's talk about the characters. So, Twin Peaks is famous for having a massive cast of characters, all of them somehow linked to the mysterious murder of Laura Palmer. Despite the show's eerie atmosphere and violent setup, Twin Peaks is predominantly a drama about the lives and relationships of inhabitants of a small town, with the investigation often left in the background. Every character has their own idiosyncrasies. I don't know, like difficult English word. I'm going to skip that one. Anyway, and particular hobbies, offering welcome hints of humor to the narrative and making them feel more relatable. So, since all the characters residing in Twin Peaks are so different from one another, they have distinct types, I guess. Yeah, they call it MBTI types. By dissecting their personalities, some of their actions become quite predictable, and their puzzling attitudes should finally make sense. Twin Peaks is also famous for releasing a new season 26 years after the previous one, introducing new important characters as well as bringing most of these main characters back. So I'm reading this from an article from Screen Rant, so that's interesting. Okay, let's talk about that. Laura Palmer likes to live life to the fullest, engaging in a series of new experiences and making the unknown their ally. She can be the life of the party and finds it easy to communicate with others, often succeeding at convincing her friends to join her in her suspicious adventures. Sometimes Laura gets too carried away by new opportunities that she fails to see danger behind them. So, yes, she is famous for her spontaneous spirits and observant skills. Obviously, exactly how other people feel if they haven't said a word. In Laura's case, she fills every slot of free time she can with activities, parties, and errands in order to escape from reality and attempt to distract herself from Bob, the evil spirit that feeds on her soul. However, despite excitement for new experiences, she never gets satisfied, which explains why she is constantly on the run, looking out for more and more fun without acknowledging the consequences. Yes, okay, so that's pretty much her. That's Laura Palmer. Agent Dale Cooper. Dale Cooper to the core. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present.
He gives an entirety to his absurd imagination, which often leads him to the path of the truth and surreal as it might seem. He's aware of his talent as an investigator, but he's humble enough to not brag, or not to brag, putting his energy into the guiding people around him to see their own potential. Cooper could never solve Laura's murder alone, so he indirectly puts the residents of Twin Peaks on the right track to help him uncover the truth. Yes, so the rarest of personality types of all, which makes Cooper one of a kind. He rejects easy answers and never takes shortcuts, carrying out methodical objectives. Anyway, like I said, English is not my first language, so excuse me for mispronouncing these words, that highlight his perfectionism. While it may seem like a great threat for the detective, Cooper is often too blind to see his exhaustion, prompting his friends to force him to get a good night's sleep every once in a while. Oh boy, yes, that's very interesting. I love Dale Cooper. I mean, he has such a great personality. He likes and loves coffee, and it's just wonderful to see.
Damn good coffee. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.
So let's talk about one of my favorite characters up next, Audrey Horne. So yeah, Audrey is always looking for a reason to argue with the people around her. When there are no conflicts going on, she starts one, just for the sake of excitement. So yes, Audrey is often overflowing with ideas, but she never thinks about them carefully enough to execute them properly. For this reason, she constantly finds herself in a series of dangerous situations, with only her sharp wit as a weapon. One of Twin Peaks' biggest unanswered questions is whether Cooper and Audrey should have ended up together, although it's quite possible that she only fell for him because of the thrilling challenge that came with it. Audrey's most distinctive trait is her keenness to break the rules, which doesn't change even when her character returns 26 years later. Damn, I think watching season 3 will be interesting. I mean, when I get there, obviously, it might take another couple of years, but I think that would be very interesting. Obviously, Harry Truman, it should come as no surprise that Sheriff Harry Truman has the defender personality type. Harry doesn't think twice when it comes to helping someone out. He's one of the most altruistic persons in Twin Peaks, often interpreting his work in Laura Palmer's investigation just to aid someone with another tiny problem. So, interesting. The death of Laura Palmer drastically impacts the town. Harry does his best with the help of Cooper to apply his practical and analytical skills to the case. Harry is one of the most likable characters in Twin Peaks, and his big heart is crucial to initiating a sensitive yet precise police team to find Laura's killer. So yes, very interesting. We also have James. James Hurley is a character who lives only in the present, not affected by the demons of his past or concerned about his uncertain future. Laura Palmer's death truly impacts him, but he knows he must move on, getting rid of Laura's heart locket and accepting Donna's love. Like James tends to be sensitive to others, but is also reluctant to let other people help him, preferring to deal with their problems on their own and act independently. James' arc is full of ups and downs. It all depends on whether he is winning the battle against himself at the moment. So yes, very interesting. Oh boy, let's talk about another great character of the show, Shelley Johnson. Hell yes. Dude, Shelley Johnson and Audrey Tay. Man, oh man. As a straight man myself, I would do anything for these pretty girls. Anyway, Shelley Johnson, who adores taking risks and doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She knows that Leo, her husband, is probably the most dangerous man in Twin Peaks, yet she insists on her affair with Bobby because he takes her out of her routine. Shelley has perfect people skills, which explains why she's the only person able to tame Leo, and her natural charm brings the attention of characters such as Agent Gordon Cole, who finds her an example of personality and beauty. Shelley tends to avoid conflict at all costs, ignoring that a life of risks usually attracts problems. Boy, oh boy, like Shelley is such an interesting character. Like, she is married to the most aggressive man in Twin Peaks, Leo. Like, nobody likes Leo. I don't like Leo. But yet, Shelley is this she has this heart of gold, man. Holy damn. And that's insane. Like, Shelley really deserves better. And Bobby, obviously, being this affair that she has, It's so cute to see them together. So Bobby Briggs, despite his impulsive behavior and erratic attitude, Bobby is much more value-driven, and his personality lets out. His taste for danger comes from repressed feelings, and his inadequacy in routine makes him bored. Bobby is a great athlete and smart enough to get excellent grades if he wants to, but he prefers to live unpredictably, which makes him the perfect fit for Laura and Shelley. Also, with Bobby, everything is vibrant and new. However, this is all a well-known trait of poor long-term planners, which explains why he finds himself lonely and cast down in the show's revival. Oh no, don't say that. That was a big spoiler. Oh boy. Anyway, Bobby, dudes, he is a character that I also really, live with. He's a young guy. He's full of spirit, and yeah, his taste for danger comes from repressed feelings, and his inadequacy in routine makes him bored. I guess, yeah, that I I see myself in him, and that's really beautiful. Like all of these characters, all of them have such an interesting like flavor to them. That's so beautiful. We also have Andy Brennan. Andy is a deputy officer guided by curiosity and eagerness to challenge himself. Even though he struggles to deal with emotions in the face of danger, he's a character who changes a lot throughout the show's 3 seasons, evolving from an overly sensitive man to a brave officer guided by a strong sense of duty. More than once, Andy lets insecurity get in his way of sharing a brilliant creative idea. Fortunately, the other characters are aware of his imaginative mind and are always looking for Andy's opinions on things. So yes, there's this one last character that I want to talk about, Lucy Moran. Yes, Twin Peaks has many unresolved storylines and mysteries, and even though Lucy is always at the center of them, she doesn't let herself get carried away. Between the show's most terrifying moments, Lucy stands out as the comic relief. Where she's the only receptionist at the Twin Peaks Police Department, Lucy is braver than most of the police officers. She takes her job seriously and easily connects to both newcomers and older citizens of Twin Peaks, always disposed to aid those in need. Like Lucy tends to have a constructive, constructive criticism or advice to offer, although they don't take such criticism as well when it's directed at them. So yes, like I said, I'm not quite sure what obviously Twin Peaks, is, but the feeling, the characters, the storyline all makes sense. David Lynch and I believe Mark Frost, Mark Frost and David Lynch created this pure series. Like this TV show is so soft and so welcoming. It's a great joy to actually say that this is one of my favorite TV shows. Like, I'm not quite sure. I've only seen season 1, but I immediately fell in love with the tone that they set up. Like the pilot was, I believe, an hour and 20 minutes. Like that was a full-on movie, right? But then the entirety of the season went on, and I was like, holy shit! Every episode ended with a cliffhanger, and I was like, damn, I want to see what happens next. But the thing is, I took my time. So every day I watched an episode of Twin Peaks. So yeah, I guess it took me 10 days or something to finish this series, or to finish season 1. And dude, like I've got to tell you that this show is fantastic. Like I'm going to recommend this show to a lot of people. I'm quite sure that a lot of people hate my offerings of series and TV shows and films, obviously, because I watch them. Like I watch a lot of them, and the thing is, Twin Peaks will forever be in my mind. It's just such a pure and calm series, and I think anybody could watch this show. Anybody, like literally. I think like for older people, for younger people, I think the show is for anyone, and that's really interesting. The dramatic atmosphere and the mystery surrounding it. It's also perfect in a way. I really don't want to be like leaning into, I guess, a statement, I guess, but this is one of the best TV shows ever made. Obviously, it's American, and like the Earth is big. Our planet is very big. I bet your ass there are other series better and bolder than this one. But Twin Peaks is just like the story. It's about Laura Palmer, but yet again, it is not about Laura Palmer. Yeah, you know, they try to find the killer of Laura Palmer. I think it gets revealed midway through season 2. Obviously, there's this Bob, this kind of guy. They presume, I presume that Bob is the killer. But like I said, I haven't seen season 2 yet. I haven't seen season 3 yet. I haven't seen Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me yet. So I guess as an introduction to this beautiful universe, yeah, it's beautiful, you know. It's it gets me hyped to watch season 2, and I think David Lynch and Mark Frost absolutely nailed it. Especially David Lynch. Like I said, I'm a big fan of David Lynch, and one of my favorite films is Blue Velvet. I can't really explain it. Like, I watched it for the first time, I was like, okay, I get this. All right, this is nice. And then I rewatched it a couple times more, and I was like, okay, yes, I really like this. This is a big inspiration for me. Like Twin Peaks itself, and obviously like Blue Velvet, but Blue Velvet released before Twin Peaks, and I think David Lynch and also I guess Mark Frost took inspiration from Blue Velvet, and you know, took it into Twin Peaks, and I think that's brilliant. Like a suburban, I guess, town like Blue Velvet has, or I guess Twin Peaks. Like Twin Peaks is this calm little log town, right? Subscribe. Maybe I will. Maybe I will make more videos about this, because I think the show deserves a lot more attention, especially like the people that watch my channel. You know, maybe you are a new viewer here, maybe you're not. I think that this show is fantastic, and I'll try to make more videos on it, because I think that works, and I think that's really beautiful. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone. And random fun fact of the video, Bastille. So the singer, the band, I guess. How do you pronounce the name? Bastille? I don't know. Anyway, those famous singers actually named a song after Laura Palmer, which, you know, this song absolutely slaps, man. This is a damn good, fine cup of coffee song, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's roll the outro.